So the army leaves Hattin and heads to Jerusalem. They get to Jerusalem. Who does Salah ad-Din see? Balian of Ibelin. Balian of Ibelin is heading to Jerusalem, but the problem is the Arab army is in between him and Jerusalem. So Balian approaches Salah ad-Din. They know each other. And Balian goes, so my wife, the grandniece of the former emperor who's now dead, is in Jerusalem. I'm here to get her. By the way, she made 4 babies with Balian of Ibelin. Like, this guy is married to a former queen and making children with her. Like, he's totally interconnected. He goes, I'm here to get my wife. Will you let me into the city? And Salah ad-Din goes, okay, fine. I'll let you into the city, but you have to promise you will not fight us, and you won't do anything but go in there, get your wife, and come out. And if your children are there, you can get them too. And so Balian goes, okay, thank you so much. He goes into the city. When people see him, they go, we don't have any leaders. There's nobody running the city. Everybody was at Hattin. So they come back. They go to Balian and go, you need to take command of the city to defend us. So Balian goes, okay, I'll be right back. He leaves the city. He goes back to Salah ad-Din. He goes, look, they're begging me to take command of the city. I swore I wouldn't do anything, but would you do it anyway? Salah ad-Din goes, okay, so you have your oath to me, but your duty to your people. And Balian goes, yeah. And so you're asking me to release you from your oath. And Balian goes, I take my oath very seriously. So if you tell me no, I go get my wife and I leave. And Salah ad-Din goes, okay, fine. I release you from your oath. Go take over the city and prepare its defenses. I'm going to attack tomorrow. And then Balian goes, okay, but one more thing first. Can you get my wife for me? Like, I'm going to let her out of the city, but like, can you escort her to a safe place so she's not in combat zone? And Salah ad-Din goes, wait, so now I'm taking care of your wife? And then Balian's like, well, actually, could you just send her to Tyre, to Sur, and then that way she's just out of harm's way completely? And Salah ad-Din goes, fine. So Balian goes in, takes over the defenses. He puts up a fight. Like, most of the Crusaders were defeated at Hattin. Arab armies were democratic. So, in other words, yes, Salah ad-Din is the general. Once combat is invested, he makes all the decisions. Nobody can second guess him. But in between combat, the soldiers can vote on things and make demands. Isn't that interesting? Well, the soldiers wanted to massacre all the Crusaders at Hattin. So they had voted for that. Salah ad-Din got up in front of them. He's like, no, we're not those people. We don't massacre everybody. When they're defeated, a bunch of them are going to be wounded and surrender. We're going to heal the wounded and we're going to let them go. And they're like, no, we don't want to fight them ever again. If we let them go, we're just going to have to fight them later. And Salah ad-Din goes, I don't care. We're not massacrers. They are. They do this. We don't. They vote, and they vote to modify the mass execution that's supposed to take place at the end of Hattin. They vote only to massacre the Knights Templars and the Knights Hospitallers. So the Knights Templars and Hospitallers were monastic orders that went into combat and had vows of chastity and poverty, and they were like the richest rapists the world has ever seen. They just plundered, raped, murdered everywhere they went. They had a big cross on their chest just to make sure you knew they were a Christian as they were killing you, raping you, and stealing your stuff. And so they voted, okay, we're going to get rid of those guys. We'll let the whole rest of the army go. So Salah ad-Din goes, fine. He had men who spoke Latin walk up and down the line of Hospitallers and Templars and say to them, we can't execute Muslims. We can't execute Muslims. We can't execute Muslims. They have to do it in Latin, right? Because some of them speak French, some of them speak German, some of them speak Hungarian. So they just need a language that everybody can at least figure this out. About maybe a third of those Templars and Hospitallers, these fanatic Christians, walk up to the executioner and then become Muslim. They say the two phrases you need to become Muslims, and they're like, all right, fine, get out of line. But then, here's the weird twist. There were a group of guys who weren't Templars and Hospitallers. They were just clearly normal Crusaders. They walked up and they said they were. And the executioner's like, that means we have to kill you. No, you don't want to be. It's obvious you're not. You're not dressed like one. They go, no, we are. And the executioners go, I don't get it. You want us to execute you? And they're like, yes, because if you kill us here now, we go straight to heaven. We get to hang out with Jesus for all eternity. And the executioners are like, dude, no, get out of the line. You're not a Templar. Because right in the meantime, a bunch of Templars are like, yeah, I'm a Muslim. You can't kill me. All right, get out of the line. And then they went and became Mamluk. They actually joined the Mamluk. So they've actually switched sides. Anyway, so that's what happened there. So here we are. It's Jerusalem. This brutal siege is happening. Finally, the Muslims managed to break a hole in the wall. There's fighting in the breach that lasts for days. Balian comes out. He goes, we're done. We're out of food. We're exhausted. We don't have many people left, honestly. The fight can't go on. Saladin goes, okay, let's talk terms. Because Saladin actually at one point had decided he was going to take the city by force no matter what. So Balian says, look, if you don't let us surrender, we're going to destroy Jerusalem. We're going to burn everything. Everything you find sacred, we're going to wreck it. We're going to tear down Al-Aqsa Mosque. We're going to destroy everything, the Dome of the Rock. We will leave none of your mosques, none of your holy places. Saladin goes, those are your holy places too. And Balian's like, I will destroy our holy places. I will destroy the Jewish holy places, the Christian holy places, the Muslim holy places. I'm going to tear it all down if you don't let us surrender. So Saladin goes, fine. Actually, he turns to an advisor and he goes, is it okay to break my oath to capturing the city by violence to preserve all our holy sites? And the guy's like, yes, that's totally okay. You're released from your oath. And so Saladin goes, okay, here are my terms. My army has already voted to enslave some of you. So I talked them into a price for their freedom. If you can come up with X amount of money, we'll let you guys go. That way nobody gets enslaved. So the army comes out and then Saladin goes, you know what? The elderly don't have to pay. And like he keeps exempting groups. Okay, children don't have to pay. And so by the time they're done, they're down to like this core group of guys. And a bunch of them didn't have any money. So Saladin goes into his tent, he pulls what was left of his coffers out, and he dumps it on the ground and buys a bunch of the Crusaders and then frees them. And then some of his generals are standing there, they feel really embarrassed, they go get their coffers and free a few more. And so in this way, Balian got to lead the entire Crusader population out of Jerusalem. Saladin said, anytime you guys want to come visit, you're always welcome. This city's gates will always be open to you, just like they were before you did the Crusades. We're going to put it right back to where it was. And Balian was like, yeah, thanks, that's really cool. And they head towards Tyre.